Hey guys, I know a lot of you are wondering what stocks will benefit with this spending bill passing the House of Representatives and now going to Trump's desk for signature. So we've already talked about the AI military stocks and defense stocks like Big Bear AI. That's had a nice run. Also Palantir, it's taking a breather right now. I do believe the dip will get bought eventually, but make sure you have cash in case it does want to go lower. But that's one of the most popular stocks, so I can see the dip getting bought up sooner rather than later. Okay, so we know about those stocks. We've talked about those. But also, spending is going to go towards energy independence in the U.S. And I just listened to Chris Wright, who's the energy secretary, talk about natural gas, nuclear power, coal, as well as a little bit of solar. Okay, and obviously oil exploration, you need to talk about that as well. Drill, baby, drill. And so we already know the nuclear power stocks, right? We have those in the Millionaire Maker portfolio. They're crushing it and they will continue to do so, okay? But the natural gas, this is actually the cheapest, is what he was saying, Chris Wright, the cheapest form of energy. And so liquid natural gas, he wants the U.S. and Trump wants the U.S. to be the leading exporter of LNG or liquid natural gas. So if you guys know any small cap stocks, even if they're big cap, we know, ConocoPhillips, ExxonMobil, we know the main players. But if you do know any of the smaller companies, ideally involved with AI, right, revolving around servicing, natural gas plants or liquid natural gas, those are ones I'd be interested in. Drop me a comment. So I'm going to be doing some research over the weekend and seeing if I can find some gems, okay? But natural gas, we want to pay attention to that. It's good to have some exposure to that. And again, we have nuclear power, so we're set there. And again, become a member, guys, so you can see the Millionaire Maker portfolio because they're the big theme, best of the best stocks, guys, that are going to continue to crush it long term. And then also, coal plants are going to be coming back online. So if you want to have exposure to this, it makes sense for the recovery there. So you can look, at names there. And again, drop me a comment if you know a good one there. And then solar, even though this has been beaten up because we know the bill, they're like taking away tax credits and all that. Enphase Energy has been absolutely beaten up. I think it can make some sort of recovery one day. So if you want to have a small position, in that, it makes sense. But really, I'm focusing on nuclear power, number one, and then natural gas for me would be number two, okay? And oil stocks, if the price of oil remains low because we're drilling a lot, it's going to be hard for, I'm not as much interested in that sector, but you can find ones that do oil, natural gas, right? A bunch of different things, okay? So, for example, I remember ConocoPhillips, right? That's one that's involved with oil, natural gas, and they're involved with oil exploration in Alaska last time I checked. But that's a big cap name. If you know any of the smaller companies or even mid cap, let me know, guys, in the comments, okay? So I'm going to do more research on this. But again, it just makes sense with onshoring back to America, right? We need to have the infrastructure set up for these companies to come because of the high demand for all the technology too, right? So that's why, Trump's been signing all these energy orders like nuclear power to jumpstart the nuclear power industry. And so that's why I think a lot of the money government spending could go to keep, and obviously deregulation, right? It's going to go, they're going to spend money towards these energy companies to build out the infrastructure needed to handle, this AI boom that's happening and data center boom as well, right? We need nuclear power, the clean energy and natural gas plants to handle, right, all that power, guys. So again, I'm going to be doing research, but I just want to let you know I'm excited for this area and have a great 4th of July.